A couple weeks ago, I got to talking with a local boater, and he was telling me a story about a fire that took place in 1989, right here in our marina. This fire happened 31 years ago, and based on the only article I could find, there was an explosion on one of the boats at the marina. People standing by tried to push the boat that was on fire off the dock, but the wind pushed it back, only to ignite dozens more boats in the process. Within 2 hours, the fire had caused $2 to $4 million in damage and destroyed 50 to 60 boats. That got me thinking about just how much history our little watery area of Galveston Bay has. And, well, I find myself diving down a rabbit hole of history. So Galveston Bay is a bay in the western Gulf of Mexico along the upper coast of Texas. It's the 7th largest estuary in the United States and the largest of the 7 major estuaries along the Texas Gulf Coast. The water in our bay is a complex mixture of seawater and freshwater. Complex is an understatement for sure. You've seen our water. Galveston Bay is mostly shallow with an average depth of 7 to 9 feet. And it's home to the 3rd largest fleet of recreational boats in America. The bay is fed by the Trinity River and the San Jacinto River, numerous local bayous, and incoming tides from the Gulf of Mexico. This unique and complex mixing of waters from different sources supports many types of marine life, including crabs, shrimp, oysters, and many varieties of fish, thereby supporting a substantial fishing industry. With its diverse marine life, Galveston Bay also produces more seafood than any estuary in the United States, except the Chesapeake, and has the highest concentration of marinas in the nation. The ground beneath the bay area consists of layers of sand and clay to great depths. These layers were created by millennia of riverborne sediment, which gradually incorporated plants and animal matter, creating the petroleum deposits for which the Gulf Coast is known for. Or at least, this is what Wikipedia says. I also learned that the first substantial settlements in the area were believed to have been made by the Karankawa and the Atacapan tribes, who lived throughout the Gulf Coast region. I couldn't find the exact time frame, but apparently the first contact with the Atacapa may have been in 1528. I also don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Legend has it that one of Kima's first inhabitants was the pirate John Lafitte. It is even rumored that he buried much of his stolen treasure around the horseshoe-shaped section of Galveston Bay. It turns out, a man named Louis Ory established a naval base at the harbor in 1816 to support the Mexican War of Independence, and when he abandoned this base, it was then taken over by said pirate John Lafitte, who temporarily transformed Galveston Island and the bay into a haven for outlaws. Lafitte remained until 1821, when he was given an ultimatum by the United States Navy: leave or be destroyed. Lafitte burned his settlement to the ground and sailed under the cover of night for parts unknown. Much later, after the Galveston hurricane of 1900, when the majority of the towns around Galveston Bay were destroyed, the city of Evergreen, which we know now as Kima, was washed away and needed to be rebuilt and given a post office. But since there was already a town by the name of Evergreen in existence somewhere else, the new name, Kima, was chosen to replace it. It comes from the Karankawa Indian word meaning wind in my face. For a town with so many sailing vessels, including my own, I find this meaning beyond perfect. So now you and I know a little bit more about my home, and probably too much Texas history for one person. We will be back next Sunday with your regularly scheduled program, and until then, cheers, salute, and huzzah!